How well do you guys know Ajax? We're going to test your knowledge right now, and we're going to go back into the stats as far back as 2019. So let's get right into it. Question number one. How much did a detached house cost in Ajax in 2019? I'm going to give you guys a few clues. So let's see if you guys are close. If you don't mind commenting below, and we're going to find out like how well do you guys know Ajax. Was it around the 708 mark? Was it over 800 at 835? Or 864 or below 700 at 645? That's for a detached house in Ajax. Second question. What are they selling for today? How much is a detached house selling for in Ajax today in 2022, August 2022? I'm not talking about the peak of the market, which we all know was around February and March, but right now, how much are they selling for? Last question. True or false? Oshawa's prices have increased more than Ajax's since 2019. Comment below, and we're going to find out right now if you guys are correct in those three areas. So let's get started. We're going to cover number one, how many homes have sold and in Ajax and Oshawa. So you can see here what I've done is I've taken the peak of the market, which was January, February, and March, and we're going to compare it to the last month, which was August. The stats just came out. So in Ajax, at the peak of the market, 212 homes sold. And in August, they're down to 104. So keep in mind, this is every kind of house, like condos, freeholds, detached, everything included. So in August, only 104 homes sold on the Toronto Real Estate Board. That is a drop of 51% since the peak of the market. Now let's look at Oshawa. Oshawa at the peak of the market, 408 homes sold, also in March. And now they sold 237 in August. That's a drop of 42%. Okay, so Ajax is down about 51%. Oshawa is down about 42% when you look at number of homes sold. Now, let's see what they sold for, because everybody wants to know the prices, right? Obviously. And by the way, if you guys enjoy this kind of stuff, like please consider subscribing, because it does cheer me up and it takes me a long time. I think this presentation here took me about 7.5 hours to put together. Okay, so let's get into detached average prices. Now, same thing here. I took the prices for January, February, and March, which was the peak of the market, and these are the prices for August. Keep in mind, this is detached averages only. So for Ajax, at the peak of the market, they were almost at $1.5 million. They were selling for 1.48, and that was in February. And now they've dropped to just over $1 million. That's down to $1,038,000 only. And that is a drop of 29% since the peak of the market, which would have been February in this case for Ajax. Now let's look at Oshawa detached homes only. Same thing for Oshawa. The prices peaked in February. They were selling for $1.2 million, and now they're selling all the way down to $847,000. Keep in mind, these are detached average prices. So Oshawa has dropped 26% since the peak of the market, and Ajax has dropped 29% since the peak of the market. Now, I didn't want to compare just detached homes because not everybody lives in a detached house. So I want to compare condos as well. Condos, you'll be surprised to see what Oshawa has been up to. At the peak of the market, Ajax sold for $697,000, which was in February. And now in August, they are selling for $530,000 on average. That is a drop of 24% in only a matter of 7 months. And now let's look at Oshawa. You can look at Oshawa here. They had a really bad month in January. They were selling for $341,000. But ever since then, they haven't really moved much. The peak of the market would have been $490,000 in February, but didn't really drop much in March and still hasn't dropped much in August. So they've only dropped 2% since the peak of the market. So now freehold townhouses. Now let's look at same thing here, same 3 months, comparing it to the month of August. They happen to peak in January at 1.12. These are freehold townhouses average prices. So they peaked in January at 1.12, and now they're selling for $852,000, and that is a drop of 24% since the peak of the market. And for Oshawa, they actually peaked in February. They were selling for 1.02, and now they've dropped all the way to $772,000, and that's a drop of 25%. So they actually dipped just a little bit more than Ajax. So this is what's been going on for average prices. And now let's look at what's been happening for the last 4 years, because I actually had some requests from a friend of mine. He actually wanted to see, like, okay, the past 2 years have been a little bit crazy. So why don't we just go back as far as 2019 and see what the changes have been. So I thought, like, yeah, sure. If I have time, no problem. I'll put it together. So here are the stats. So what I did was I took a detached condos and freehold townhouses. So, and I've done comparison for August of each year. So this would be August 2019, August 2020, August 2021. You get the point. So this is August only, and this is for Ajax only for now. So in August, for example, a detached house was selling for $708,000 in 2019. So the prices for 2022 are going below 2021, but still quite a lot higher than in the 2020 prices. So the prices are actually up 46% if you are comparing 2019 to 2022. Like I said before, somebody had requested I go back all the way to 2019. So here are the numbers. Now let's look at condos. Condos are up for Ajax 22%. Now let's look at freehold townhouses. Freehold townhouses are up 47% in the last 4 years. They were selling for 578. At the peak of the peak of the market, they were selling for a lot higher. But if you compare it to last August, they were selling for 868, and this August they sold for 852. So compared to last year, the prices have dropped below last year, but they are still quite a bit higher. Like August 2020, they were selling for 665, and that's still a big jump. And now let's look at Oshawa. Oshawa, same thing, detached homes, condos, freehold townhouses, and I've compared to August of every single year, 2019 August, 2020 August, 2021 August, and the most recent August 2022. So if you look at average prices only, they are up 52% for detached homes. But if you look at compared to last year only, the prices have finally dropped below what they were selling for last year, but still quite a bit higher than what they were selling for in 2020. So I don't know if they'll ever get there. Like, I don't know if they'll drop to 2020 prices. We'll just have to wait to see. But now let's look at condos. Condos are up quite a bit. They were selling for $370,000. They dropped in August 2020 for 344, because you guys remember, like, when everything slowed down, and that was around April of 2020. And August of last year, they were selling for $346,000. They took a big jump in, like February and March of this year, but I'm comparing only August right now. And they are selling for $479,000, and that's a jump of 29% if we're comparing August only. Freehold townhouses. In 2019 August, they were selling just around the $500,000 mark. They are actually up to almost $800,000. They are selling for $772,000, and that's a jump of 56%. Now, let's see which market has performed better, because as promised, I want to show you guys side-by-side comparison Oshawa to August. So let's see which market has performed better. Comparing all the way from 2019 to 2022, it is Oshawa. Oshawa has actually performed better than Ajax, and I'm going to show you guys exactly what I mean here. Keep in mind, I'm only focusing on real estate stats in resale market only. This is not considering, like the pre-construction market, and this does not include like, oh, they have better schools or quality of life, nothing like that. This is just real estate numbers only. Now let's see how it has performed. Side-by-side comparison, Ajax to Oshawa. So keep in mind, this is from January 2019 to all the way to end of August of this year. Number of homes sold in all those 4 years. 6,300 in Ajax and over 12,000 in Oshawa. The percentage increase in detached homes, like I just showed you guys before in a few minutes ago, detached homes have increased 46% in Ajax, and in Oshawa they've increased 52%. Condos have gone up 22% since 2019, but in Oshawa they've gone up 29%. So the winner is Oshawa so far. Freehold townhouses price increase 47% in Ajax. That's still very good. but Oshawa is up 56%. Percentage drop since the peak of the market. Now keep in mind this is every type of house, not just detached or condo. This is everything added together. So percentage drop since the peak of the market in Ajax is 25%. So Ajax is down 25% in prices since the peak of the market. Oshawa is actually down 28% since the peak of the market. So the winner there would be Ajax. Now the last thing I wanted to cover was percentage of homes sold over asking price. Now I've explained this before. This is not like a very scientific formula because there's no rule that says that you have to price your house at market value. You know, a lot of homes get priced below market value to generate bidding wars. But I'm not going to get into that right now. But percentage of homes sold over asking price since 2019, January 2019, Ajax 63.2%, Oshawa slightly higher at 63.4%. So the winner in most categories is Oshawa. Ajax only, since only in one category is Ajax winning, which is percentage drop since the peak of the market. So Oshawa is the winner when you look at resale market activity since the peak of the market. Now my next video will be on Burlington versus Oakville. We're going to see side by side which market has performed better since 2019. If you guys enjoy this kind of stuff, please consider subscribing and liking because as I mentioned, it takes me a long time to put this stuff together. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you in the next video. Thanks. See ya.